In today's activity, you're going to be a sound detective. Detectives normally look carefully around them, investigating and using what they see as clues to help them solve mysteries. But today, you're going to be a detective that listens for clues. Lots of people are sound detectives. You've probably met one before. People like doctors who listen to the sounds of your body to help you stay healthy, or mechanics who listen to the sounds of cars for clues so that they know how to fix them. Listening closely to sounds can help you figure things out. So today, you'll go on a sound adventure, traveling to 3 different places. Once you arrive at each location, you'll only be able to hear what's around you. You won't be able to see. You'll need to use your ears and the sounds around you as clues to solve the mystery of where you are. I'll show you how to get started, step by step. Get your supplies. All you need for this activity are your ears. But we do suggest you get a pencil and some paper for drawing and writing things down. When you're done with this step, click the arrow on the right. Okay, let's do a practice round together so that you'll be ready for your sound challenges. You'll hear 3 different sounds that you might hear if you were visiting a particular place. So listen closely. Each sound will give you a clue about where you are. Now, this practice round might be easy, but the challenges will get more and more difficult. Okay, you ready? Go ahead and close your eyes and listen. Here's sound number 1. Here's sound number 2. And here's sound number 3. Okay, open your eyes, then click the arrow on the right. Do you have ideas about what was making each of the sounds? Can you use those sound clues to help you figure out where you are? Here's what we heard. We think sound number 1 is a rooster. We think sound number 2 is a pig. And we think sound number 3 is a cow. Using these 3 sound clues, we think you're probably on a farm. Okay, it's time to start your sound adventure. The first place you're going to visit is one you're probably familiar with, a house. But your challenge is to figure out which room of the house you're in. Are you in the kitchen or are you in the bathroom? We'll play 3 sound clues, so go ahead, close your eyes, and listen closely. Here's sound number 1. Here's sound number 2. And here's sound number 3. Before we tell you what we thought, take a moment to write or draw what you think was making each of the 3 sounds. We'll play each sound again. Here's sound number 1. Sound number 2. And here's sound number 3. Now that you've taken a moment to write or draw your ideas about the sounds you heard, we'll share our ideas. Here's what we noticed. We think sound number 1 sounds like running water. But you might hear running water in the kitchen or in the bathroom, so we weren't sure where we were. Then we listened to sound number 2, and we think this might be the sound of someone brushing their teeth. So maybe we're in the bathroom. Then we heard sound number 3, and we think that's the sound of a toilet flushing. So using the sound clues, we think that you're probably in the bathroom. Okay, for your second challenge, I'll give you a clue. You're going to visit a park, but your challenge is to figure out if you are visiting a water park or an amusement park. We'll play 3 sound clues, so go ahead, close your eyes, and listen closely. Before we reveal what we thought, take a moment to write or draw what you think was making each of the 3 sounds. We'll play each sound again. Okay, for your second challenge, I'll give you a clue. You're going to visit a park, but your challenge is to figure out if you are visiting a water park or an amusement park. We'll play 3 sound clues, so go ahead, close your eyes, and listen closely. Here's sound number 1. Here's sound number 2. And here's sound number 3. Before we reveal what we thought, take a moment to write or draw what you think was making each of the 3 sounds. We'll play each sound again. Here's sound number 1. Sound number 2. And here's sound number 3. Now that you've taken a moment to write or draw your ideas about the sounds you heard and think about where you might be, we'll share our ideas. Here's what we noticed. Sound number 1 sounds like a crowd of people. But there are crowds of people at both water parks and amusement parks. Sound number 2 also sounded like people. But we think it now sounds like they're on a roller coaster, going up, down, and around. And sound number 3, that reminded us of a song we heard from a merry-go-round. So we think you're probably at an amusement park. Okay, it's time for your final sound challenge. This one might be difficult. Your challenge is to figure out if you're at the beach or if you're in the swamp. Listen for the 3 sound clues that will help you decide. Close your eyes and listen closely. Here's sound number 1. Here's sound number 2. And here's sound number 3. We thought this sound challenge was pretty difficult. We think one of the sounds might be an animal, but we're not sure what kind of animal. So we decided to ask a scientist who studies animals, someone called a biologist. The biologist gave us another clue. She told us that a common animal sound you hear at the beach would be from seagulls, and they sound like this. She also told us that a common bird you would find in the swamp is an egret, and that kind of bird sounds like this. Does this sound clue give you any ideas? Now that you've gotten another sound clue from the biologist, we'll play the sounds again. Close your eyes and see if you can decide where you are, the beach or the swamp. You might want to listen for the sounds of a seagull or the sounds of an egret. Here's sound number 1. Here's sound number 2. And here's sound number 3. Do you know where you are now? When we listened again, we thought that sound number 2 was the sound of an egret. So we think we're probably in the swamp. Sound number 1 is water, and sound number 3 we still weren't sure about, so we asked the biologist, and she told us it's actually the sound of an alligator. So we figured it out. We're definitely in the swamp. Congratulations! You're now an expert sound detective. If you want to keep practicing your detective skills, you can continue with our bonus challenge. All you have to do is find a room in your home. Once you decide which room you'll visit, your challenge is to sit with your eyes closed for 30 seconds and listen. How many sounds can you hear? And before you open your eyes, can you guess what's making each sound? You might be surprised at what you hear. Have fun and stay curious.